Welcome back, everyone, to our Thoughts On video on the upcoming 2025 channeling. Yes.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining us in this new video. If you haven't watched the recording about the 2025 energies, you can click on the link in the description. And so, Leo, what do you think of this co-channeling about the 2025 energies? What are your thoughts?
Well, I thought it was a great summary of the past year's channelings in a way. I felt like they covered so many different things, but quite succinctly and bow tied it all together in a nice channeling. They were talking about the contact, of course. They're talking about just irrigating our lives. They're talking about the upcoming energies and building up our capacities, working with our bodies. And I feel like it's very much a summary of what we've been channeling about, the various themes. And so I really I loved as well the launching pad analogy that they brought up. I had completely forgotten about that. And then when Ashtar spoke about it, I was like, oh yeah, we did speak about that. And it's so true. And that I actually in that moment I remembered or I realized that's why, or one of the reasons why Ra, when they first spoke, we're talking about the foundation has been built, the groundwork has been done. And it's like, oh yes, I feel like we've built up our launching pads. And now some of us have launched, some of us are, as they say, preparing to launch, some of us are putting some last little decorations on our launching pad. And I loved all of that. That was so great. How about you?
Uh, But as for me, I was quite surprised because I was more expecting them to speak about the 2025 energies to be like this or to announce, I don't know, future themes or.
Hmm.
And as you said, it was more a summary of 2024. And also, I was very surprised that they would talk about the ET contacts. Me, as Caroline, I have been watching some videos, some channeling videos about ET contacts. But I wasn't expecting Ashtar to speak about that, not at all. So I was surprised, and I had to be cautious, and I have to be more um, focused during this part of the channeling. I had to be more cautious of the words. Um, and yes, so let's say that I was very surprised about this theme. I was also very surprised that Ashtar would congratulate us because, guys, you maybe don't know that, but Ashtar is not someone who congratulates easily. So that's quite very rare. So I was surprised. And also for him to say that we still have work to do, Leo, so, and that we must work even harder. So I was surprised of this too. Um, and for me, this channeling was it's like it, there is really something about the trust. I really must trust what the words that are coming through me, because I don't hear anything, I don't perceive anything. It's really like a blank page, and then I channel things. And it's really like I have to, yes, it's a complete leap of faith when I channel Ashtar because uh, at the very, very, very beginning of the of my channeling process, I was listening, enfin, not exactly listening, but perceiving a thought, and I was repeating the thought. And now it's a total blank. And so today it was even more blank. Uh, so I could not feel anything or even perceive him. It's like if he was more far away. So I don't know if that's because we didn't practice lately. I don't know if it also depends on the theme. Maybe it's also related to me eating heavier also because it's been Christmas time. And so I think that all the cakes are probably one of the reasons. Um, so yes, let's say that I was very surprised of the themes covered, but I was really not expecting Ashtar to speak about that, and me having really no clue, feeling nothing. and channeling into anyway, channeling the words anyway. So yes.
Yeah, from my perspective, I felt like it came through quite smoothly. And despite, as you're saying, the heavy food, the heavy holiday spirit things that we do, I think it came through, Astra came through you quite smoothly. And so I think that's a sign that both of us are increasing our capacities. And so I see it as a good thing. Maybe, and I think maybe the fact that you aren't really sensing Astra in the same way, I think maybe that's because you're actually harmonizing with Ashtar more. And so you're allowing Ashtar more into your body system, let us say, and it's seeing him less as a sort of separate being. So I think that's good. And going forward, I'm sure things will clear up more for you.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And is there some a specific theme that you particularly enjoyed them talking about?
I love the fleet,
Mm,
the analogy joke. I loved it, and I loved how Ashtar loved it, and it was just a great joke. And it's such a it makes so much sense as well. You know, as we launch our ships, where are we launching them to? You know, where are we flying
mm,
towards? This is really the important question in to ask ourselves now. And so I loved how they're saying they're bringing it back again to this idea of coming together, bringing ourselves back together, and we start with our own home planet. And it ties into, of course, what Astra was saying as well, and what Ra was saying was we're not quite ready yet. And it's really, I feel, because we're still fighting amongst each other. And so if we're still fighting amongst each other, then even though some of us are very open to the higher beings coming, you know, visiting us, I think as a whole, our collective is just not ready. So it could lead to a lot of chaos. And so it makes a lot of sense. And so I loved I love the whole channeling.
mm. And yes, that's very funny as they spoke about the launching pad and the ships and the fleet. And when they did, Ashtar had a hand movement that I never did before. He raised his left hand quite open this way. So I don't know what it means.
It felt
But
like
probably,
it felt like
yeah.
it was waving to it was like waving or just being like, oh yeah, that's
Mm,
I'm a commander. So that's the sense that I got.
mm.
But yes.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it was a wave, but as it was the first time I was channeling this movement, Caroline, I was a little bit surprised, and yes, he was very very happy about the joke about speaking about the fleet, ships, etc. So he was very into that. Yes, which it totally makes sense. But uh, so yes, he was very very happy and probably laughing, but very very happy. And also the fact that they mentioned, yes, that we have to accept the difference between one another before meeting other extraterrestrial species. So I also like that kind of a reminder or a warning about yes, are we really ready? Because yes, some of us want to meet some extraterrestrial beings, but the question is, are we really that ready? If we see something even slightly different, but not the same as us, uh, wouldn't we be tempted to judge the other person? And so that's a great reminder that Ashtar and Ra said, about not judging first and foremost one another. I mean, as humans, and also not judge the family or members of our friends or whoever, to be neutral. So that again, it is indeed preparing us so that when we will meet other species, then we will not be tempted to judge them or to have negative beliefs or thoughts, um, because I am pretty sure that these other beings can listen to thoughts also. So it would also probably hurt them or hurt maybe. Um, but at least he has to be very cautious and aware of the of our thoughts and not to judge in order maybe in the future when we will meet extraterrestrials to not judge them.
Yes, yes, and I agree. And also, I feel from the channeling, it seems as though the energies, the themes are quite the same. The themes are quite the same. It's about enlivening our own life. It's about bringing each other together. It's about reunifying our planet. It's about expanding into the cosmos. All these things. I feel like it's just every year, it just gets more amped up. As they say, the sort of the all the energies that are coming through into and also the planet itself emanate all of this life energy. It's gonna just be more every year. Like every year, it's just gonna get more and more and more and more. And so I think that's what they're preparing us for. That if we, as they were saying, if we don't have our own lives well irrigated, if we don't have a structure, if it's not well structured enough, then as these energies continue to just amp up more and more and more, it's funneling through our thoughts and our behaviors, our life, our personality, everything. So if we don't shift these to be more in alignment, then I'll just exacerbate whatever is we're doing already. And so if we're kind of inactive, let's say stagnant, most likely that will lead to more stagnation and more of this sort of closing down experience. But if we're engaging with life and we're meeting more people and more friends and all of this in this such a way, great projects, collaborations and everything, then when all these life streams that are more and more amped up flow through that, well, that's a completely different experience. And so I think that's what they're just continually guiding us through to realign ourselves, to build ourselves up. And so then we'll understand more and more what they're actually talking about, whether it's the law of one or creating the life of our greatest dreams. It'll just make more sense because we are now at that sort of layer of reality.
Yes, as you say, I totally agree with you. But me, as Caroline, I was more expecting, I don't know, a channeling about something completely different. I was more expecting, okay, in 2025, this will happen, prepare yourself for this or this or that. And in fact, I was a little bit, I'm not disappointed, but I was a little bit surprised that it would be more like a rehearsal of what we have said but as you say, and as they said too, I think that indeed the energies coming at Earth will be amplified, and if we are not aligned, then we will, I don't know, either get very sick or crazy, or be even more angry or frustrated about this and this and that, and that we have to yes to align ourselves in order to be more able to receive those influx of energies or these streams coming at us. And so, yes, this is a great reminder of all the work we have to do and to continue doing so that we embrace these new upcoming energies rather than to feel agitated or angry or, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I was also a bit surprised. I think, though, now thinking upon it, it is because the specific events that we often wish to know about, what's going to happen then, or is what's going to happen after Trump gets into the office, and these sorts of things. I think they're still up in the air. It's because it's really up to us and how we navigate and process these energies that will determine the events themselves. So I think they're trying not to pigeonhole us into a certain reality experience of saying because I feel like they can see that there are certain pathways that are more likely because there are certain pathways that have more life streams flowing into them. But I don't think their desire is not to necessarily uh, make that inevitable, but allow some space and freedom so that it is still possible to choose another path if that is desired or preferred. So I think that's why they prefer that more a little bit stepped back approach. But
Mhm.
when they were describing these things, I could glimpse a little bit of how they see things visually, and that they can see sort of physical lines and separations and forms and stuff like this and bodies. However, it was sort of like overlaying and underlaying all of this where the energy flows, the life flows. And I can see it was like kind of felt like a command station almost like in a spaceship, but like you could see, like I suppose a hologram. There was like a big hologram in front, and you can see planets, you can see stars, you can see space, and you can also see there's like flows of light, various colors flowing into certain areas in space, whether that's certain planets or other areas. And then I could kind of see our Earth, and I could see how zooming into the Earth, the same thing. You could see Gaia. You could also see sort of like the winds of energy and life blowing and flowing, the waters of energy and life flowing into the planet, and it also like flowing out. But you could see that certain spots on the planet were more light, more bright in a way. And what I was getting was, oh, that brightness, it's not the brightness really was the brightness was symbolizing how much life and energy is flowing into that area or sort of congregating into that area. And I can see certain pockets of our planet being a bit more bright than others. And so I can see how it is in these life streams as they flow into our planet, into our bodies, into our lives, that they will act and activate everything that is there. And so we will be activated and things will be brought up. And this is a part of our process of shifting them, of letting them go and sort of replacing them with maybe more vibrant expressions and habits. And I can see how when those things occur, it's like the sort of dense pockets of light and brightness began to sort of shimmer and become more harmonious. And I could also kind of begin to see that, oh, like beautiful fractal shapes and sacred symmetry geometries were forming more when this sort of thing happens. But when that isn't occurring and there's more limiting beliefs and judgments of what is right and wrong and good and evil, this sort of thing, then it's like those bright lights, energy places, it's kind of like they would grow stagnant in a way, but they would grow brighter as well. And it was like it was charging up. And the thing that I was sensing was that might not necessarily lead to a very loving experience because it could lead to a sort of explosive experience. And I'm not saying this to instill any fear, but I am saying that the more and more we work on our own personal lives and realigning it so that it is more light and loving, then we are actually helping these very densified pockets of energy and life to as well to spread out in a way, to be harmonized in a way. So we are helping the world by doing this for ourselves, you could say, because we are all one. And so I was able to see this and it was quite beautiful, yes.
Nice. And it was during the channeling that you managed to see this, right?
So and during the channeling, I received glimpses of this, and as I'm speaking about this now, it's like I can peer more into it, so I can actually see more into that. This is kind of a new experience. It's happened before, but not as clearly, I would say, as now. Yeah.
And as for me, I visualized more the ET encounters, and they would, according to what I have been perceiving or seeing, it was more like people who would be like the ones I saw in some dreams years ago. They would have very bright hair, very white or yes, very white hair, They would be humanoid or they would look like a human. However, they would not have the same outfits, and their hair would be very different, quite long, quite white, radiating probably from the hair, and not curly, quite long for everyone. Um, Quite thin also, but very like humanoid, very like us as humans. But yes, wearing different things and their hair would be different. And maybe they have a belt around their waist, special belts. I'm not sure. Um, and yes, I have been seeing that while channeling, and that's why Ashtar said yes. But would you be judging those beings? Would you be judging if they are that different because they are not wearing the same outfit, their hair are different? Even though they look like you, they would not totally be like you. And so, um, and I think, yes, these encounters will be more first and foremost with people who look like us to acclimate us to other species. And then the more and more we will be ready, then the more and more we will see or other species will be able to land or manifest themselves or appearing. Um, so yes, this is what I have been visualizing during the channel.
Mm. Yes, that is very interesting. While you're describing that, just the word Pleiadian came to
Mm.
mind, so maybe your Pleiadian beings are related in some way. So that is very interesting.
Is there something else that you would like to add, Leo?
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Other than um thank you all for tuning in
Mm.
and listening, of course, and for your support and love. We are so grateful and we love you all so much and so grateful for all of your support throughout the year. It hasn't been quite a year yet for Caroline and I in uh this great channeling endeavor, but it feels like we've grown a lot and we've learned a lot and now this beautiful community of love and light and lumen is building and forming and growing. So we're so happy and we're so excited for the future. So thank you all so much.
Yes, and me too. I also very much want to thank you all for watching the videos, the recordings, the channelings. Thank you also very, very much. Yes, we are so amazed, surprised, and very, very happy to have you all on board with us. This is such a wonderful experience that we are all living together. We also hope that all those messages are helpful for you in your lives. Um, and yes, this is a great adventure that we are all in and into. And so, yes, we are so, and I am very, very grateful. So, thank you so much for watching our videos. And thank you, Leo. And also, thank you to our guides for coming. And each time that we are trying to channel, they are here. So, that's also great. So, yes, thank you all.
Yes.
And so we wish you a wonderful rest of the 2024 year. And I think that Leo and I we all wish you a tremendous 2025 year with all experiencing amazing things, glowing things in your lives. And we wish you all yes, a year filled with love, light, joy, radiance, abundance in your lives.
Yes. Let us fly our ships together in the fleet of love and light. Yes, yes. Yes. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your year and a great new year as well. And we will catch you guys in the next chapter, in chapter 2025. Yes. Bye.
Bye bye.